Hello, Jesus, Nim. You appear like a thing that appears quickly. I can't find a witty comparison yet, but just add in whatever you think would make me sound clever. Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome. Um, I'm currently designing the jars that hold the curses, but I'm at a bit of a sticking point. It's not a difficult one. It's just that I literally just got to it, so I haven't had any time to actually think about it. But the thing is, I hold on. An ant attacking me. Okay, I'm good now. So, the sticking point is I designed this jar, right? And I like it. I like it. It has all the elements that I needed. It didn't need to be like overly fancy because there's gonna be hundreds and hundreds, I mean, even thousands of them. So I don't want each individual one to stick out too much. So it needed to be rather simple and repeatable. Um, but one thing that I don't like about it, yeah, it does look like honey. I literally just took the colors from this. Um, one thing, yeah, I know. My volume's always low. I don't know what's going on with the. Well, it's the max volume it can be. So just turn me up. What was I gonna say? Right. I like the jar, but if I didn't tell you it was a jar that held curses, you'd probably not know that it was a jar that held curses, you know? And I feel like my job as a visual artist is to make things visually clear. And I feel like there's definitely more that I could do to imply that there is something of magical nature within the jar, right? There's no hint of that on the outside. Um, so that's why I want to do something to the jar. I want to add something to the jar that tells you that there is curses in it. And the way I thought I could do that is by adding some sort of ward or protective seal or something on it that seems to have the intent of containing what's inside of it, right? I think the container of the jar could do the job. Well, yeah, but the thing is, most of the time we will see the jars on their own. So I want the jars on their own to do a good job at least like implying that there might be something of magical substance inside of it that it's containing. Even if the seals don't do anything or something like that, just something visual that I could do. But the other issue is because they need to stack next to each other perfectly. Um, it can't be anything that sticks out too far, and also it can't be anything that's too like takes up is too like floppy or annoying to deal with because the jars are frequently like taken out of the pack, like they're next to each other like this, so they're pulled out and then put back in, so you don't want anything that like chafes up against the side of them, so it like gets them stuck when you move them back into the pile, you know. uh and also they're mass manufactured, so obviously the the thing that acts as the seal needs to be something that is mass produced, which gives it a characteristic. So what I've thought is I could make like a band of metal that goes around the jar that so the way jars are made is like you have a mold, and then you just have a blob of glass and you just blow it and it inflates into the shape of the mold. So I could literally just have a band of metal inside the mold, um, that the glass then shapes around, basically locking the band in. So it's like curving around it. So it's flush against the glass. Um, and that has like metal seals or something on that. And then obviously the metal band can be stamped out a metal sheet with a die, and you could just mass produce that as well. So that makes it easy. An Ofuda? What's an Ofuda? When I picture a jar of curses, I picture a jar with silver or iron filigree woven through and around the glass. A border between decoration and a cage. Yeah. Yeah, I guess like cage, like I did write that down, like chains or pillars, I guess cages. Like what symbols can we put on the seals that would imply, well, sealing something away? Obviously, like, yeah, chains, cages, so like cross patterns, things that look like bars. And also, it doesn't have to be a solid piece. We can totally make like a more elegant one that weaves and has gaps for the glass in between it, because the glass will just fill in whatever space. Yeah, hands. I mean, hands is a very common. Uh, we could do barbed wire. Or maybe bramble. Some sort of idea with like a thorn bush thing could be the case. Yeah, I also don't want to limit myself. Like the restriction with it having fitting into this profile, I can remove that, but I do like the idea of them like fitting next to each other and making up a sort of large floor. Um, so, but yeah, if I come up with a better method of storing them, but it's hard to come up. I really like this, so we probably need to stick within those rules. Those Japanese paper seals. I hold on. Let me search those up then. Um, Ofuda. Oh, Babning. Oh shit. Sa team yun ah. Oh, these. Hmm. Yeah, we can basically make like the equivalent of those out of metal, I guess. What is there any other types of seals um from other cultures that we can that you can think of? Because I don't know much about that sort of stuff. So these are the seals you talking about. Well, and maybe on Pinterest I can find something that piques my interest. First seal. No, that's a cursed seal. King hell. Okay, there's one on like a. I'm getting a lot of Naruto. Not what I'm looking for. I like wax seals as well. I'm tempted to use something with wax. Wax to me seems like a very ritualistic ingredient. Like especially I feel like wax would be nice and thematic, seeing as they're gonna be hexagonal and stacked next to each other on the floor anyway. So like wax seems like you can add ingredients into wax as well, like herbs or stuff like that that might be believed to protect against curses. What was about to say wax seal? Okay, good. But yeah, how? Oh, thank you. Love you. Um, thing is, there's not much space on the lid, right? Obviously we can't put the seal on the side because the side is flat. Can't have anything sticking out, so it has to be on the top. And also, it makes more sense for it to be at the top because then it's a more visible thing when they're stacked next to each other. So like, where would I put it? I mean, I guess I can just redesign the lid. You know, have it be like it needs two valves on it. And the middle can't really be used either, and there's a label there as well. I guess we could replace the label with a seal instead. I hmm. Or maybe put a seal over the valve, like keeping it out or something, maybe. That could be the case. Yeah, and we can have it coat over the like the metal bracket here that's used to hold down the lid. Expectedly, after you seal it, you're not really planning to open it up again for a long time. So you can probably just like cover most of the top of the lid with wax and then just stamp a seal into it. Hello. Welcome. Yeah, like that. That would definitely like already make it look more um cursey. What kind of ingredients do you think ward against curses? In Thai custom, we see evil spirits with talent and cloth tied it up with a specific. Yeah, I know. Um, I just this is Ram, so I don't know what Ram's style of like protecting against curses would be. I feel like for Ram, it would be a lot more like um um materialistic. Like it's always like it has to be a seal or a brand or a a, a ward, something like that. Where Varus, I feel they'd be more ceremonial about it, you know, with like having monks and stuff like waft incense over it and shit, and the string around it, you know. But for Ram, I feel like their idea of warding would be heavy things, metals, um, salt. Yeah, salt is a good idea. Can salt mix with wax? Is that? I mean, I guess you could just sprinkle some salt and then pour the wax over and then stamp it. Salt. What kind of metals would protect against curses? I feel like brass. Um, brass wouldn't protect against curses. I just feel like they'd have a lot of it, and they'd need a lot of it. Brass could have the entire lid covered in wax, stamped on it, and crack it open after a long time. Yeah, I did think about that as well, but the lid is like really big. Like if you look at the size of the jar that this dude's holding, the lid's like the size of your palm or like almost a whole hand. So that'd be a lot of wax. Um, seems kind of well, yeah, but it would make it like a really strong image, huh? To just have the whole top of the lid be covered in wax. Copper and silver? Yeah, copper could work too. I doubt they'd use silver just because of its valuableness. Well, actually, if maybe in small amounts they could use silver. Oh yeah, I mean, I love myself some bronze. Oxidized bronze is like one of my favorite colors. Oxidized bronze or brass or even copper. I love that teal color. Are we gonna get some lore? What do you mean? I can make some shit up for you on the spot if you'd like. I mean, I always just blabble on about it occasionally. Yeah, so like a big seal at the top might work. Can't have it dripping down the side much. It's kind of a shame. Like I'd love to just dunk it like a fucking wine bottle. Just have the whole top be covered. But also if you lift them out of the pile, it'd be annoying to have wax on the rim because that's where the pliers go, you know? I'm sort of thinking, what if they, like, most likely, if they're sealing this many bottles, they would have a system for it, pretty much like a pouring station. So I feel like a ring of metal would come down to, like those molds that like diners use to have their eggs be a unnatural perfect circle. That would come around the edge, and then the metal or the molten wax, like a pot, would be boiling at the top, sort of like fishing lures where they use like um, lead pouring machines that would like pour some wax in here, and then the stamp would come in from a swivel from the side, and then you'd push it down, stamp it, and then move it off to the side, and then get the next jar. So it would sort of be contained at the top. It wouldn't like spill off the edge. I mean, I feel like there'd be other methods to containing curses as well. I haven't thought of any other ones. This is just the method I came up with for ROM. Something you don't have to, though. It would be cool. I mean, yeah, of course I'd make a lore video about like curses and stuff like that eventually when I can write again. But yeah, I definitely want like a wax seal at the top, I think. Could we have a string that's embedded inside the wax to release it easier? Like I can think about having a string that's just laid down on the top of the lid and then tied onto the side so it like hangs off. Um, so when you need the wax taken off, you can just pull on this string to have the whole top like sort of come off. Or maybe even like wax paper. Some sort of paper underneath the wax first so it doesn't clog up the so it's like jar, then like paper, uh like this, and then the wax seal over it. That's the basic principle of wax seals. I don't know that. I don't fucking know they put a string in it. Are there nobles in the world, or who has the most authority? I don't really care about that. There definitely are, but I don't want to think about it. I can't be bothered. More uh, accurately. Thing is, like, I only care about like a very small portion of the world. When it comes to like politics and stuff like that of the world, I really don't care. So I just don't go into it. I don't need to like explore every aspect of the world thoroughly. Uh, just the part that I care about and actually enjoy. Because the whole thing's self-indulgent anyway. We'd still need to have some sort of identifier. I guess when the wax is still hot, you can just put a plaque in it, like a piece of paper, just lay it onto the wax. Are there any risks of putting curses in jars? I mean, dealing with curses in general is a risk. It's not a fun thing to deal with. Hmm. So a lid with paper. I mean, we can have the paper have some sort of writing on it as well to do this thing, you know? Just sort of protective seal or whatever. I don't know what the, the writing would be. What would a like for Japan it's like big letters, words, big letters. What would ROM make protective seals look like? They're very like they would probably call upon their saints or something like that. I feel like we definitely need like a star motif or something like that. Um, or you know what would be a cool symbol for seals? The pillars, like having them like have 12 pillars like this, uh like this, and then like a scripture or something like that in the middle, like something about the pillars, or maybe like a star. I feel like if I have a star, it's gonna be. Well, no, it's not cloth. It's just paper. I just imagine it to be paper. Uh, so just the paper and then wax on top to seal it. They're used to make soldiers. Curses are incredibly powerful, and that's why Rom is like trying to basically manufacture uh good curses, which sounds what is that thing called? Contradictory. Uh, but they're trying to manufacture curses that are beneficial. To then like have their soldiers have those curses. I'm sort of thinking of like a maybe pictures of their four saints on either side. This like their lesser saints. Like they have 12 saints. That'd be perfect to have 12. and then be in the middle of the fucking some sort of symbol. I don't know what kind of symbol. Are witches more powerful than soldiers or pillarmen? Oh yeah, 100%. The whole idea behind witches is that they literally break reality. they they change the rules of how the world works. That's why they can make like puppet soldiers and stuff like that exist, or animals that are made entirely out of cloth. Like they are a danger to existence itself by just being there. They make new biomes and diseases and species. Hold on. 12-sided star. Search. Yeah, it does look. I do like the look of it. There's a 12-sided star right here. Yeah, we can totally like that seems like the basis of some sort of protective seal of some kind. How much effort is needed to kill a witch? Well, shoot them. I like when things aren't too like they are still living things with yeah, I mean it depends on how far the witch has gone, I guess, but like inevitably it doesn't matter how powerful something is. In the end it's still, you know, made of flesh and bone and stuff. So shooting it kills most things in the world. Uh, you know, I I like it that way because it makes it. Yeah, I just like that. I like that more than things being um, unnaturally resilient just because they're like powerful. Like powerful doesn't necessarily mean that they are fucking indestructible. You know. Um, Yeah, the difficulty about killing a witch isn't necessarily like killing them. It's more about finding and getting to them in the first place. That's the hard part. Cuz because they basically make their own biome, their own minions and like shit like that. It's a whole ordeal just to get to them in the first place, you know? And the curses obviously, like good luck getting to them before getting yourself cursed to shit, and just dying on the way there. Tanking hundreds of bullets. I yeah. I feel like the reason I don't like it, or well, I think what I don't like is when there are tanky or bullet spongy characters that don't look it, that don't look tanky. You know, like I've sort of lost touch with like anime fight scenes They can be really bombastic and well animated, but I sort of just don't feel much when looking at a lot of the like really high fantasy anime fight scenes. Uh, because it just like they look like people, but they get punched and then nothing happens. So it's like the scale of what the danger of the fight is to me like I can't comprehend what they are like who's winning or what's happening. Like none of them look like they're getting hurt by any of the attacks most of the time, and then suddenly one of the attacks make the other one bleed, and it's like, oh, I guess that one was the stronger attack, you know? So I like it a lot more when it just stays consistent and like if they're made of flesh and blood, if they get shot, they probably bleed out and die. And there's no like weird mystery magic that's keeping them or that's making them disgustingly tough or whatever. If there is a character that's like incredibly resilient, I'd be completely down with it if they look like a brick shithouse. If they're clad in the thickest fucking armor and they are hard to kill, then it's like, yeah, I can see that because they look like it, But I a lot of the time like those like really tough characters just look ordinary, and it just makes me I don't know like the war dancers, yeah, like the war dancers. I still think like the war dancers are like you can kill them pretty easily, right? Like a big explosion or something like that, or shooting them enough is gonna get them down. I sort of imagine them being as tough as like a 12-foot tall crackhead. Um, like you've probably heard of those like articles where it's like, oh, somebody is like really on drugs, and the police had to shoot them like 12 times to get them to stop running at them, because they're just coked out of their mind or something. Imagine that 12-foot tall. Uh, that's like the resilience of a war dancer. It's just because they're really fucking big and really angry and pissed. But they're still like reasonably squishy for what they are. Like things that you'd imagine would kill them. It's not like they have magically tough skin or unpierceable organs or whatever. No, they have organs, they have flesh, they have muscles. It's just they have a lot of it and they're really angry. But yeah, I'm just doodling away at this point. Hmm. How would I do? Hmm? Why do they decorate tanks with shawls if escaping Death's shawl is a good thing? Well, yeah, because Death's shawl gets tangled in his talons, so presumably if you put a bunch of like shawl or shawl equivalent things around the tank, you'll have a tough time picking it up. It's sort of more of a symbolic thing. I don't know if I don't know why I'm thinking about this. It's under the wax. It doesn't matter unless I want this to be the seal on top of the wax. The wax seal paper with a string around it. We can also have the metal layouts. Let's try and draw that, actually. I'll use this jar. So there's square ones, there's hexagonal ones, there's a bunch of different variations. So, let's see. We're thinking is, well, actually, let me locate this. So, we have the metal band that is baked in when the jar is created. So the metal, the glass like curves around it. No idea what kind of shit this shield shape. And then we put big old wax seal over the whole top. So we off paper around it first. Have seal. That string. Sort of. Then the label into the wax. Okay. Still tell what the jar holds. Go. I mean, it's a rough first pass, but it definitely already looks more like it holds something that is more than just jam. Magical jam. Backside. Yeah, I like that actually. just roughly color it. Then I'm gonna get a better idea of the distribution of scales. I do like the black seal. It looks very like ominous. I'm gonna try like a seal. And then we can offset that with brighter paper. Honestly. Metallic brass something. Yeah, it's inevitably gonna look tasty because it is literally honey. Eh, I think I I want the wax to be small. And the band around the bottle just oh. Why are the curses held in honey? It's magical honey. It has a content of like mana, so it keeps the curses going. And also honey is like natural preservative, right? Is that a pickled baby? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Pickled. It's one of those like specimens that weird people keep in jars. See them at like, weird museums sometimes. Yeah, I don't know what I feel about the thing going around the sides. I like the concept of it, but I think I'm still like the shape of it better. I could do what Shabby and Sedeka did. I feel like Shabby and Sedeka were onto something. Hold on, let me show you what they drew up. This was like ages ago. They drew up this, and their jar had like a rim around the corners. I feel like maybe we could have that. Well, instead of being a band around the middle, have it be the corners, which would also actually make it look like a cage, which I think works. It'd make it look like a cage, yeah. Let's get try. I doubt it get much harder to make it the edges. What? I think there are always reasons hexagon best shape, but I don't know. Well, that's because just it's cool. I like hexagon. Oh, right. If we have hexagons, if I put a a a rim into each of the corners and then one on each of the sides, then we have 12, which is like the 12 pillars. So yeah, let's put like one. Well, can keep that number theme going. Yeah, I do like that. Okay, so the symbol of a cage makes sense. So I don't think I need to add any more to that. And then the seal at the top, which I don't like the big seal. I do like the idea of having a paper underneath it, though. Just a smaller seal. Let's see. Put the paper there first. See how it. What hell yeah. Something. The limit is the amount of jam you can eat? What? Is there a limit to how many curses someone can hold? Theoretically, no. But they will kill you. Uh, it's it's hard. Like curses are very bad, as the name implies. They're not that good. So to find curses that are unharmful enough to have them pile on top of each other and still not kill you would be really hard. Uh, but theoretically there is no limit. It's just the limit is that the curses themselves are just so bad that there's not enough uh harmless curses to curse yourself with. Okay, and then I guess I can like put the seal. Eh. People. Writing. Paper. Yeah. Let's try that. Certainly looks a little more cursed now. So it might. The rim just makes it look like it's a fancy bottle of jam. It's just fancy jam now. Shit. It just looks like really fancy jam. Still don't think it's the first thing. Specifications regarding the curse inside. Yeah, yeah. Label. It still feels not right. Hold on. What? What about that? Oh, not really. Mostly due to the paper. Yeah, I think it's the paper. The paper's the problem. If paper, it still kind of looks like a fancy. What feeling do you want? It to look like a cursed jar, or a jar that has a curse inside it? Like, look at this. This makes you think there's a fucking curse inside it, right? Like, immediately look at it and you're like, that's fucking cursed. That's holding something in there, right? That's the feeling I need to get, and I think these like bars just don't do that. I really like the paper seals. Chains around the lid is too much. Yeah, the bars might be too clean. You might be right. It's just too nice looking. Like it looks like a decoration, and I feel like that's the same thing I feel about the rim, like the metal ring around here. It's like just a nice decoration. This looks like, please don't get out. For the love of God, whatever is in here, do not get out, right? Because it's just so, yeah. There's like a binding element to it where it cuts over um elements of the jar instead of this where it's like the cage is ooh just a nice decoration. This is like it 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 goes from the body of the jar to the lid, and then like just fucking seal it off, seal it off. So yeah, that might be what we need, and I don't think we can get that from metal. I don't think we can get that from metal. I do think it needs to be paper like this. Let me just try adding those same papers on this jar. Uh, and then we can like try drawing something else on it. Well, over the label doesn't really make fucking sense. It'd have to go under the label. Big yellow caution tape. Yeah. Yeah, I think literally just that already does such a better job at conveying "do not fucking open this," um, compared to nice little cage decoration. we do the seal top bigger. What stamps and calligraphy are pretty crucial in these Buddhist stamps. Yeah, I fucking know. I haven't gotten to it yet. Now it just looks like I taped up the jar. Need to add like actual writing to it. Don't know what kind of writing though. Like if I just emulate the fucking that, then obviously it's gonna look worse, but you know, that's very culturally identifiable. Yeah, that definitely looks more like a cursed jar. But I don't know if I like it. Maybe have a repeating pattern instead of writing. I feel like that made sense. Make more sense. Yeah, I like the idea of repeating patterns actually. It makes it very clear that it's like, manufactured. I think that fits really. Look at that. I think that's really good. Yep. 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 This to me looks like now look at this. Look at this. And look at this. This is fancy jam jar. This is God please don't escape. I mean, not that like it still looks like jam because or honey because it is literally honey. So it's like this is the forbidden honey jar. This is the ooh welcome taste our fucking homegrown cruelty free um like high quality honey, and this is the evil honey. Evil honey. Yeah, I like the seal at the top as well, actually. Okay, now here's the thing. What do we think about the label? Because it to me it's kind of funny the contrast of the seals that are like a shaman going, please, oh god, don't escape and ruin our lives, contrasted to medically like medical label just put on top of that and being like, here's the category of this curse that we've bottled up. It's kind of funny, but I think I like it. Yeah, it's a weird contrast, like a clash between like ritualistic uh prayer and manufacturing, factory labeling, mass production, you know? SCP coded. Yeah, yeah. I think that's good actually. I don't mind it. Different departments exactly. Yeah, the curse protection department did their thing. Now we actually have to, do the important stuff, label it, uh, you know, write it down, log it, give it a serial number. They definitely talk shit about each other. They both believe they do the important part. They both believe they do the important part. The fucking curse protection unit is like, listen, we're the only reason this facility hasn't gone up in flames and everybody died. And the other one is like, listen, we're the only reason this facility hasn't gone up in flames because we keep proper records and know which jars to take and store where. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I guess paper in the end was the right call. Am I happy with this? I mean, this is. I'm just asking myself. Okay, I think the string around it as well was what gave it the jam jar. Like, I think I'm not even gonna add the string. As soon as you add the string, it's like, ooh, pull me and enjoy the my tasty, delicious insides that are definitely very healthy, yummy honey, and not horrific curses that will ruin your life. So I think yeah, basically everything that we did or I added was not good. Everything made it look more like a delectable jam. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Yeah, yeah, I'm happy with that. Does it actually taste good? It tastes like honey. It is honey. I maybe no, we haven't reached that level of society, I guess. I was gonna say maybe they mix in uh like disgusting tasting chemicals into the honey to make it unpleasant so nobody's tempted to eat it. like the fucking game cartridges, but I don't think we've reached that level of society yet. They haven't gotten to that point. Okay, yeah, now we just need to draw this jar on this dude, him holding it, and on his back. Press, you managed to build your channel on it. I was wondering, as a fellow artist, do you do this full time or just as a hobby? Well, I'm fortunate enough to do it full time at the moment, due to the wonderful success of like the channel at the beginning and the donations, the fucking Patreon, and like the dwarf jars. I'm coasting off of that. Um, maybe like eventually, obviously, I'll have to go back to like doing commissions and stuff like that. But I'm very much enjoying just being able to work on my own stuff. It is very soul restoring. Uh, yeah. Thank you very much if you bought one of those. You're the reason I can keep fucking just messing around doing my own shit. But it's not forever, you know. I can't coast off of it forever. Eventually, I need to like actually make like with merch. I really want to do more merch, but it's just so hard to like actually find a way to produce it and make it good quality. And like with merch, I always have this bad taste in my mouth where I always want it to be something that I would actually want myself, and not just like phone it in and just be like, fucking mugs, shirts, whatever, you know. Uh, like I want it to be something that I would use myself, and that's the reason I'd make it. Um, yeah. Be successful with your world building. I can recommend you uh look into why your big videos were successful. I believe it has 100 good thumbnails, I guess. Yeah. Also title. I mean, saying I redesigned Dwarf is definitely something that's a lot more eye-catching, but I don't know. I'm not that good with like the YouTube side of YouTube, you know, like actually being a YouTuber. I'm not really good with that stuff. Um, and at the moment, like, I'm really trying to find a style of video that just fits with me the most. Cause, um, I'd say I draw pretty decently fast. You know, like I finish things, or like I don't finish things often, but I draw often. Like I draw a lot. And the issue with making YouTube videos is that it takes like 4 times as long to make a video about something than it did to draw that thing. So it just slowly picks away at me. Cause it's like, oh, cool, I drew this cool thing. Now time to spend a week writing a script and editing it uh to tell people that I did the thing. And it's just, Jesus, it's so not fun. So I'm really trying to find a video instead of like worrying about videos performing well. I think the first concern for me, or my main priority at the moment, is find a type of video that I can stomach making consistently, uh, and still have a soul. You know, you have to do something. Yeah. So like the last video, I think is getting close to it. I'm stripping back literally everything. I didn't have music in the background. I don't have um any like scrolls at the end or whatever, or segments or whatever, like everything that adds more friction to the process I removed. And it's just me talking about it, the drawing, which obviously is less entertaining. Like if I added more effort into it, it would most likely be a more entertaining viewing experience. Um, but again, my main focus is just making a video that I can consistently do first. And I think that one got close. And also the length of it. I'm gonna try uh I'm restricting myself to making scripts that are 1 page long. So one just word page long, 9 font size 9, 1 page. Like the last video went over that because the section at the end about the hatch folk that wasn't relevant to the video obviously went to the next page. But still, the whole doll thing was 1 page, and that ends up making it like, like 3 minutes. I thought the last video was great. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna try going with that next, or continuing with that, where it's just I'm stripping everything away, just making something that I can pump out and actually do consistently, and do it along with drawing. Like I'm gonna have to see how long it'll take me to write a script about this, um, because I really don't want it to take too long. That's like the hardest part for me, because I'm just not, I'm an artist. I'm not a fucking writer. So obviously writing scripts is by itself just hard for me because I'm not a writer. Um, but also just personally, I've realized over the years, I I really don't like talking about my art. like, but like, oh, the YouTube blew up, and it's like, God, it's a channel talking about my love of creating art. But the thing is, I absolutely hate talking about the process of making shit. Because the thing is, I like making it. I don't like relaying how I made it. You know? That it's painful to do that. This is just me complaining like a wuss, by the way. It's like, push through it. There's gonna be unpleasant parts of a job or whatever. But, like, it's just, it's ironic that I like thinking up concepts. I like brainstorming. I love that. But I absolutely despise actually talking about it. Cause in my head, it's like my head tells me, well, I already did. I already did talk about it with myself, you know? Yeah. I should probably your voice as an allure to the things you make. Yes. Thank you. Uh but yeah, Jesus. It's I hate that I don't have more energy to be like a proper YouTube person. Like sometimes I have it, like now, I'm streaming, I'm talking, but it's so rare. Like that's why I can't like stream consistently or anything. I I I just don't like talking, and it's sort of, yeah, it's very funny. I have succeeded by talking about my art, so I'm fated to do it forever now. Love hearing you passionately rambling about things you enjoy. Dude, you don't know how hard it is to sound passionate. Because obviously that's in the aftermath. That's after the fact. I'm telling you how I came up with things and stuff, and it's so hard to sound even remotely excited about it. Because my head's just screaming at me, saying, what the fuck are you doing? The whole time. But yeah. It's not as bad when I write like lore about the world, because it's not about the process. Yeah, I don't know what I'll write about this dude, actually. I'm not sure yet. You aren't as immature as a lot of YouTubers that are very over the top and don't care at all about what they say. Well, I wouldn't call them immature. Immature is really not the right word, I don't think. Just energetic. Like it is a acquired skill to be able to put that much passion into staring at a fucking camera or talking into a mic while nobody's listening and make yourself sound excited. It is incredible, and I find it very envious. Uh, I envy those people that are able to just make things sound so incredibly interesting, even though they're talking about things that happened in the past. Yeah, not immature. It's a skill. It's really hard to be entertaining in that way. And it's one that I just don't have. And I'm not going to call it a talent either. I definitely believe that you can learn to be that and to do that. It's just that I haven't managed to yet. Because a talent implies that you're just born with it. No, I believe a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers definitely work their fucking ass off and probably are miserable like I am, uh, just trying to sound enthusiastic about the thing they're talking about. I commend them. Pretending to be less energetic just makes me less energetic. Exactly. Like it's horrible. I can't do it. Here you go. That's the first jar. Put some seals on it. Guess the label can be side. Some of them are just straight up just really good at talking, but I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones that yell out literally anything. Oh, yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, if you're talking about those specifically, then yeah, of course. But obviously, I'm meaning more about the people that are just genuinely skilled at talking. Um, like there's some YouTubers that I'm in awe of, where they can just sit down and then talk about a topic, and then like probably edit it. Like they might need to do some like takes to re-say something, but they can just spout, you know, gold. And for me, I I I every video is word for word written in a script. Even if I say the ums and ahs and whatever, that's just, that's a part of the trick. That's me trying to make it sound like it's off the top of the dome, even though I don't think I'm doing that good of a job. But yeah, I just add those. The scripts, all of them, everything I say is written down exactly, because I genuinely can't just write like some key points and then just go with the flow or whatever. Nah, I just can't. I don't know. Just haven't. Just don't have that ability. Talking on the whim is definitely. Yeah, it's a skill. Again, I think. Public speaking is a pain. Yeah. I mean, God, thank God I don't have to do public speaking. This is just me talking to myself in my room in front of a mic. Imagine fucking being on stage or like on a panel. Would be my worst fucking nightmare. I'd love to just sit in the audience comparably. Uh yeah. Gotta go. Have a nice day. Okay, take care. Take care. Keep a convo with themselves? Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Well, actually, I should keep the patterns for the rendering or the coloring layer so I can those or change them around not right. I can like do the writing. Have a bit of the paper tearing away. I mean, this jar is fucking ancient. Not ancient, but been there for a while. Likely it's succumbed to the elements. There you go. And I'll draw the hands over it on a different layer so I can make sure to. Yeah, I mean, my funnily enough, this might not be a thing in other countries or like English speaking countries, but in Thailand we have English speaking competitions for schools and stuff like that in high school or university, whatever you have, or even middle school. You have like speaking competitions. There's like debate competitions, speaking competitions, where you just get topics and then prepare scripts or stuff for them and then have to talk in front of some judges and they'll rate you on your pronunciation, stuff like that, because obviously in a non speaking English speaking country, speaking English is a valuable skill, so it's competed with or competed, there's competitions about it. Funnily enough, even though I have this absolute hate for uh speaking, and especially speaking in public, I was forced into so many of those speaking competitions when I was in middle school and high school. Jesus, like it was bad. I won a bunch of them as well. Um, you know, I won, but at what cost? I guess at what cost? My soul. It was painful. Holy shit. It definitely helped. Like I can't deny that it helped to an extent. With my English abilities. Uh, you know, and my ability to speak in front of people, but it wasn't enjoyable. I sort of just like I was often the student that spoke the best English, so I was defaulted to go to those competitions. Even if I didn't sign up for them, like sometimes I would get urged by the teachers a lot to the point where I just cave in and then sign up to them. Oh, make a good name for the school or whatever. But then it got to the point where sometimes I would just be walking in between classes, and a teacher would walk past me and be like, "Oh, hey Simon, I signed you up to a speaking competition like in a month. So could you prepare for that? Thanks. And they'll just walk away, and I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean? So they just signed me up to it without even asking me first. They're just like, oh yeah, Simon does the speaking competitions, so I'll just sign him up to the speaking competitions without even consulting me first and being like, hey, you want to do this? Nah, fuck. I got a speaking competition now in a month, and because I was better at speaking than the fucking teachers that taught English, I would just be there getting the topics. Like they'd give you like 8 topics or 10 topics that so most of the competitions would be like you get the list of topics that are possible, and then at the competition you'd pull them out of a hat or whatever, and then you would say that prepared speech. So it's not even like well, the later ones got changed or were different, but these were like most of them were like this, which meant I would by myself have to research like 8 or 10 topics, make make speeches about them, and then memorize all 8 or 10 of them so that I can recite them at the pull of a hat, at the pull, you know, because you can't have the paper out, so you just need to memorize like 8 speeches that are like 4 to 5 minutes long each. Uh, It was great. It was so much fun. I guarantee you it was one of the reasons my brain is fried now is because I had to use so much storage capacity to just memorize stupid scripts about fucking global warming and uniform codes at school and like the most uninteresting fucking uninteresting fucking topics I could ever imagine as at that age, like things that I could not care less about. ดูเป็นธรรมชาติดีให้มันถึงหน้าผากด้วยนะที่รักแกเอาแค่เดี๋ยวทำไมแกทาแค่ข้างเดียวฮันดีโอ้โอ้ไม่เพราะกูดูตรงนี้ไงกูแบบอ้อเป็นธรรมชาติดีกูไม่เห็นด้านนี้ไงมึงหันด้านนี้กูดูเกินไปอะไรวะน่ะวางไป Can you still remember any? God, no. Of course not. But yeah, then the later competitions like got harder. It would be a round of prepared speeches, and then the later ones would be you get a topic and then you get like half an hour to research and write like PowerPoints about it or like talking points about it, and then you go out and speak about it. Those would be shorter, like 3 minutes. So you'd get a random topic you don't give a fuck about. Then you need to sit down for 30 minutes and like prepare a speech about it, and then go out to talk to some judges and a crowd of people about that topic you don't give a shit about for 3 minutes. But yeah, Jesus, it was bad. I hated every single second of it. And I went to debate competitions as well. That's also a thing. You probably have that? Debate competitions. It's just debating. There's 2 sides debating over a topic. Again, they pick the most boring topics you could imagine. Um, Although the stupid thing was at one of the debate competitions they had like a warm-up session before the competition, like laying out the rules sort of. I don't know why they had that, because most likely everyone who went to the competition would have practiced so they'd know what the fuck they're doing. Why would a team that doesn't know how debating works go into a debate competition? But they had like a test run where they had us like make our own topics to debate over, and then pick another team at random and then debate over that topic just for fun, to sort of learn the ropes. And that was the most fun because we had the most stupid topics because we were actually allowed to come up with our own topics. So it wasn't just stupid like school rules or fucking climate change. The climate change thing drove me nuts. Every competition, you at least had to talk about climate change or the environment once. It was always the fucking climate change. But I had to debate about the efficacy of eating stray dogs because Thailand has a bit of a stray dog problem. So we debated if it was all right to eat stray dogs because there are just so many of them. So wouldn't you could you just be allowed to eat them? And I remember that as like the only topic that I remember from that time because it was the most memorable fucking thing debating about justifying eating stray dogs. Uh and that was fun. You know, I wish the rest of it was like that. Cause that'd be great. That'd be such a fun competition. But no, all the other shit was just debating about grown-up stuff. Yeah, so we were just cackling on stage with another team. Because, like, it's not like we agree on it. I was on the side that said, yes, we should eat stray dogs. So you just laugh at yourself trying to come up with these ridiculous points of, like, you don't even agree with it yourself. You just have to make the argument because you're on that side. You're just like, okay, hear me out. Hear me out. Trust me. You can eat, I mean, you know, other parts they eat dog illegally. Like, we can eat them legally. We make it legal. Is eating stray dog based? Yeah, sadly that kind of language didn't exist in that time. What the fuck? I sound like ye olde. No, I mean just yeah, based and stuff like that wasn't. That would have been even more funny. Eating stray dogs based, or is it whack? Yeah. I believe that eventually I will find a style of video that just suits my own patience and personality, my own flaws. Like it's bound to happen. I just have to like keep searching, and it's gonna be frustrating for a while. But I think it's just part for the course. Part for the course. Part for the. How to say that saying? Yeah. I'll find it eventually. How long does it usually take you to make an artwork? Oh, it really depends. I don't really take that much time rendering. I don't think. Um, hmm, let me think. It obviously depends on the artwork. I don't make them in one sitting. I definitely don't make them in one sitting. I don't think I've ever been. Yeah, I think I find it very important that I make it in multiple settings or sittings. Cause like it's I think it really helps for me to like refresh my eyes and just my head in general. You know, sometimes you just get a little bogged down looking at the same thing for too long, and you like sort of get like a blindness is the best word I can use to describe I can think of to describe it. But you sort of get design blind. You know, like you can't tell if it's good or not, or it might just look like shit uh the whole time. And at that point I just need to like step away from it, give myself a breather, come back to it the next day. But also like the way I go about designing things like characters and creatures is very long con. I I I go about it in a very lengthy way. Uh, like I put things to the side. I revisit them when I have some more inspiration. I very much just go with the flow of things. You know, like for the Hatch folk, for example. You know, I've revisited the Hatch folk like 10 times maybe. I don't like just sit down and go, okay, I'm gonna design this race and I'm gonna finish it. And then I finish that race and then I move on to the next thing. No, nothing's really ever finished. Like I sat down the first time, I designed the hatch folk. I was sort of happy with it, but then I left it because I knew I'd probably come up with some other things. I'd want to tweak some things and whatever. And then I occasionally come back to it, do some sketches in my sketchbook. Nope, nothing's changed yet. Nothing new has come up yet. And then I leave it again, and I come back to it again. Nope, nothing's new yet. Or and then sometimes I'll like get a little bit of a step forward. It'll develop in an interesting direction that I like. Um, so yeah, like my concepts, I can't really. It's hard to say how long a drawing takes because if you just talk about the technical side of it, like oh, how long does this literally take? Then like I can probably finish this in. Well, how long was the last stream? The last stream was like in 2 hours long, and now I'm like yapping. If I actually like locked in and drew properly, I can probably finish this in like uh 6 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, depending on how much I care to render it, really. Uh, but what takes longer is all the other stuff, you know, like the tangents of stressing about what the jar looks like, or the year it's taken to develop the or to draw the hatch folk and come up with this version of them. Uh, so it's really it depends on damn 6 hours. I don't know. It really depends. Sometimes I go really fast. Sometimes it takes longer. Uh, cause I'm just really fucking like when it comes to art. I'm really all about just chilling. It's what I like. It's what I like to do. It's my hobby. I don't see it as work, even though, it's what's paying the bills. So I really like I listen to shit. I go and do other stuff. I watch videos at the same time as drawing. So it's like I can bear down and like finish something quickly. Um, but that's not how I usually do it, you know? I can totally like if you want it, or if I wanted to and I had the motivation, I can finish this in like 3 hours, maybe. But that's like, you know, that's the theoretical limit. I'm not saying God, I'm such a fast artist I can finish in 3 hours. No, that's the fucking honeymoon. Oh, what if dreamy number that I dream of if I was max motivation all the time and could actually sit down for that long, but my ADHD ass doesn't let me do that. So it takes more like 6 hours if I'm lucky. Yeah. But that same process I do for pretty much everything I do. Scripts, editing, everything. It's the same thing. With scripts, I write them, then I leave them be. I come back to them, uh, try to like change things and see if I can like improve the pacing of it or the wording, make it more elegant and nice sounding, whatever. I can never like do things just in one sitting. Like at this point, I don't think I'm drawing fast at all. This is like the slowest I've ever drawn. It is just because I'm just babbling away and just sort of scratching. I'm not like really in a hurry to finish it or anything. You should try using some kind of reptile as a reference for the hatchfolk. I don't know how that would work. Would be cool lore with the lore, but it could be cool. No, I don't really like reptiles. Or I like reptiles. I just don't like reset that conversation. I just don't think reptiles fit into the setting, really. Weirdly enough, I don't think scales just don't fit with the setting. Like anything that has scales doesn't fit my idea of what the setting looks like. Are you a big procrastinator? Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I am incredibly good at procrastinating. Um what? Oh, right. The meds do help to an extent. Like, I have ADHD medication now that I've gotten last year, and it's definitely helping. You know, I feel like I'm more in control of what I can choose to do. Uh, the underside of a jar, but of the top is on the other side. I just thought it made more sense because you see the top on here, and you're gonna see the top of this jar. So I want one where you can see the bottom, so it's not like all just the same. Smooth skin instead of scales. I mean, I think the hatchfolk are in a good place at the moment already. I think I'm pretty happy with where they're at, uh, visually. No, I took inspiration from like apes and meerkats for them. Can I make this big? They need to. Yeah, yeah, that's good.